So today, we're calling for a special prosecutor to bring charges against officers responsible for leading Boykins' death. Paulding prosecutors must recuse themselves from the investigation of officers in the same region. Georgia Attorney General must assign a special prosecutor in this case, as they have done in other cases of obvious conflict, like the case of Ahmaud Arbery. Paulding's failure to request a special prosecutor represents a violation that Jackie Johnson, this is similar to the same conflict that Jackie Johnson is being accused of by the Attorney General. Four officers repeatedly lied that they did not know that children were present in the car. Officers had ample time to note the presence of children in the vehicle while it was held in a well-lit area for over 15 minutes. Officers used flashlights, as they always do, to look into the vehicle. Moore called and alerted dispatch of his concern for children present. Dispatch relayed that information to the officers. Officers responded and confirmed their knowledge of the presence of children. Georgia general orders do not allow for the use of deadly force against non-threatening minor passengers in a vehicle. Georgia general orders do not allow for the pit maneuver when performing the same by bystanders, putting bystanders at risk. Not only did they know it was children in the car, as the dash cam will show you guys, but you will also hear their response to the dispatcher saying that there are children in the car, responding and saying if they don't stop, they will end up in a ditch. Unfortunately, he made good on that promise. And also, unfortunately, we're at a point of where we have to ask the public to force Attorney General Carr to do his job, just like we had to force them in the case of Ahmaud Arbery. This is also not the first time DA Matthew Rollins has been accused of misconduct. I don't care if you're a civilian, if you're military, if you're a law enforcement, if you are a lawyer, I don't care what you are. I need you to put yourself in the shoes of this mother and father that has been waiting and asking and begging for justice for almost 500 days. I need you to press General Carr with public outrage as you would feel if this was your child, where he was killed and the case that they're trying a man for does not even mention his name, where the killer of your child is listed as the victim. How would you feel? I need you to put yourself in those shoes. We're asking you to force General Carr to do his job, just like we had to force him in the Ahmaud Arbery case. If Attorney General Carr can't do his job, then we're calling for Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clarke to do it for him. Kristen Clarke is the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights at the U.S. Department of Justice. In her role, she leads the Justice Department's broad federal civil rights enforcement efforts and works to uphold the civil and constitutional rights of all who live in America. We need the public to make it your business, make it our business. We need the whole village here. It's been almost 500 days that they've been asking for justice. And if they are not going to do their job willingly, then we need to force them to do their job, as we've done in the past. I'm going to call up Attorney Gerald Griggs, head over the state of Georgia NAACP.
You know, we're really getting tired of having to appear in front of Capitol buildings and courthouses to demand simple access to justice. This family has been demanding justice for almost 500 days, and still there has been no action. So in partnership with the West Metro NAACP and President Joy Ponder Bates, who couldn't be here but sends her support from the Executive Committee, and the State Conference of the Georgia NAACP, we join with this family, as we have with many other families, demanding swift and accountable justice in this case. Leading was a victim. And as you will see in the newly released dashboard camera video, there is a demand for justice. So we join with this family in 2 calls. One, a call for the Attorney General here in the state of Georgia to do more, to appoint a special prosecutor in this case immediately and to bring charges. Secondly, we called not only on Kristen Clark, but on Merrick Garland to open a patterns and practice investigation into law enforcement officers in this state. I will repeat, Georgia has a police brutality problem, whether that's Leading Boykin or Jimmy Atchison or all of the other cases. And make no mistake about it, we are done dying in Georgia. So on behalf of the oldest civil rights organization in this country, the oldest civil rights organization in this state, we are demanding justice and accountability. It's simple to have police accountability in these cases. Listen, let's be clear. We're not anti-law enforcement. We are pro-justice. And a pro-justice movement means that law enforcement officers that violate the public trust are held to the same standards as civilians. So again, we join with this family. We will continue to support them as we do all the families, and we are sending a message directly to Attorney General Chris Carr. You need to appoint a special prosecutor in this case to get to the bottom of what happened to Leading Boykin. And if you can't, turn it over to the Department of Justice, because they can. So at this time, I believe Leading's father has a few words that he wants to share about his son and about justice in this case.
How y'all doing? I'm Anthony Boykins. Oh, this is tough. Wow. I guess we start off by saying, how do we trust law enforcement? They killed my son, 12-year-old boy. And the first thing they did was lie to me. I called them. They didn't get in touch with me. I got in touch with them. The first thing they did was told me a lie. I asked them specifically and recorded the conversation. Did you know there were children in the car? A very clear answer. No, we did not know there were children in the car. When you see this dash cam footage, rest assured you will all know that they knew that there were children in that vehicle. And they decided to terminate someone's life for a speeding ticket. Not a violent crime, no drugs involved, a speeding ticket. You'll also note that when they flipped that car over, they didn't go help my son out immediately. They went to apprehend their suspect. We want justice for our son. That's as simple as I can be. We want justice for our son.
Good evening. In honor of Dr. Martin Luther King, we are here to continue to fight for justice. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. This is Dr. King anniversary. We are demanding justice. I'm here on behalf of Save the Youth Foundation and 24 Heavy. I am here to let you all know that this is also the anniversary of Kendra Johnson's death. It's been 10 years. We're tired of our kids dying. We want justice now, and we are demanding justice from the Georgia State Patrol right now.
Can you say and spell your first and last name for us?
My first name is Shanita. My last name is Binns, B-I-N-N-S. Thank you.
We'll now hear from national activist Kimberly Jones.
We standing out here for 12-year-olds now? That's what we doing?
Yes.
We standing out here for 12-year-olds now? Black boys deserve to grow old. I played with my great nephew this morning. Leading deserved to be able to play with a grandchild at some point in his life. Leading deserved to be able to play with a child of his sometime in his life. We've done every study in the world to let you know that they view our children as older,
Yep.
that they view our children as less valuable. We can't forget that the State Patrol is the grandchild of slave catchers. So when you activate from that space, when you've never grown and developed from that space, when you've never reached higher than seeing things from that space, this is what you get. If they don't stop, they're going to end up in a ditch with 2 children in the car. Who is okay with the death of children? What kind of person is okay with participating in an activity that potentially could lead to the death of a child? And then to lie about it. It speaks to character.
That's right.
It speaks to character to then lie about participating in something so gruesome that there's a piece of you that knows how dirty it was. That's why the truth couldn't set you free, because the lie consoled your soul when these people lost the soul of their child.
Charged. And also, if he committed a murder, then why isn't the person that was murdered mentioned in the case? How is that the crime that he did if that's not, at the end of the day, regardless of how anybody feels on what he did or didn't do, nobody knows how a person is going to feel as a black man at almost 2 o'clock in the morning in the deep South in Georgia when they ask for a supervisor, and instead of providing a supervisor, they burst your windows out aggressively after you've already told them that there are children in the car.
Can you walk us through the dash cam and tell us exactly what we're going to be seeing?
What you're going to see on the dash cam is Mr. Moore on the side of the road. You're going to actually see one of the officers open his car door, which you're not supposed to do.
That's right.
You're also going to see them trying to reach inside of the car, which you're also not supposed to do. And this is also some of the aggression is what led to Mr. Moore asking for a supervisor. After he continuously asked for a supervisor and told them he does not feel comfortable, not only did they call more officers to be more aggressive, but they burst his windows out. Just to be clear, he did not take off until they burst his windows out after him continuously asking for a supervisor.
Exactly.
What you'll also see is them lying to the dispatcher and telling them, oh, we're just going to get on the side of him. That's what they said 2 or 3 times. We're just going to get on the side of them. When she told him, oh, it's children in the car. It's children in the car. They said, we're just going to get on the side of him. You will see them pit maneuver this car, and this car go. They hit this car so hard. Actually, they tried to do it 2 times before. So this was the 3rd attempt to do this pit maneuver. When they did it the 3rd time, the car went up, and they hit it so hard it went up and turned around and went backwards and down into the ditch. Now, if you're familiar, and also another thing, this was not a high-speed chase. They're saying that it was a high-speed chase, but y'all know how Georgia is. It'll say Highway 92 or 38, but it's actually just an access road or a side road. The other fact in this case is the fact that this isn't someone that's just on the run. He's on the phone with 911 and his wife, saying how scared he is, saying he doesn't feel comfortable. She's saying, oh, it's going to be a supervisor to come. He's saying, okay, well, can you get them here now? I'm really scared. He said this several times. You will hear him say how scared he is. On top of that, he's going the speed limit. The speed limit was 45. You'll also hear in the dash cam when they say how fast they're going, they'll say the speed. So all of this is recorded. All of this is recorded. They have been withholding this information for forever. They could have just put this out into the public. They chose to withhold this information. Not only did the officers on the scene and a part of the pit maneuver lie, their superiors lied and said, oh, well, you know, this is late at night. They couldn't see. They couldn't tell who was in there. As activist Kimberly Jones said, our children are not looked at as little boys. I've seen pictures and videos of Leading. I've seen and met the other child that was in the car. He literally, and mind y'all, this was about 7-8 months after it happened. He still wasn't even my height, and I got heels on. So these are small children for their age. So this ain't nobody where they 6 feet tall. Not that they shouldn't still be treated as their age, but they can't use that excuse. That's BS.
Any other questions?
When did you guys get access to the dash cam?
I literally just seen the dash cam for the first time last night, and I posted it as soon as I received it. And so,
Apparently, from the allegedly,
Hold on 1 second.
it's been said allegedly that they believe we should testify against Mr. Moore. However, since the time of the incident, they've never reached out to us. I don't know if you know the full details of the story, but it took us 4 days to recover the body of our son. They had already performed an autopsy on it. There's been no transparency. They've never contacted us. We've not even been contacted by victims' advocates. You know, the general just that's offered to other people when things of this nature occur. Nobody knocked on the door, called us, told us our son was deceased. I actually had to go contacting sources of law enforcement to find out where the body was being held at, and it took a lawyer for us to recover the body.
So you're saying the DA actually wanted you guys to testify against Moore?
I'm not going to quote him exactly, but I've heard that their words was they believe that we should be testifying against Mr. Moore. But I can't say that that's true because they've never contacted me. They've never contacted her. They've never reached out to us. So, no, I can't say that that's true.